Good evening, teacher.
Good evening, Dr. Rama, Dr. Samir Babu. Good evening.
Samir sir, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening,
Good
Gita
evening.
teacher.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Thank you.
How are you? Keeping good, Samir, Dr. Samir.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am. All fine. All fine,
okay?
ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. A warm and pleasant welcome to one and all. We are truly delighted to have you all join us for today's national webinar on AI assisted research, smarter, faster, and accurate, organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell IQAC and Buddha College of Teacher Education Muthukulam in collaboration with the Council for Teacher Education Foundation CTEF. To begin this wonderful evening, I invite our respected principal, Dr. K. Remadevi ma'am, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, am I audible? Good evening to
Yeah,
all.
ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Distinguished Chair of CTEF Kerala Chapter, Dr. M.S. Geeta. Distinguished Resource Person, Dr. Samir Babu. Dear delegates and my dear friends, a warm welcome to the National Webinar on AI-assisted research, smarter, faster, and accurate, organized by Buddha College of Teacher Education, Muthukulam, in collaboration with CTEF Kerala chapter. Buddha College of Teacher Education is a NAC accredited as well as CIRF ranked institution established in the year 2005 under T.K. Divagaran Memorial Educational and Charitable Trust, Muthukulam, chaired by Professor Dr. Sudharma, retired HOD and Dean of Education, School of Pedagogical Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam. Say during the month of January, you could be able to conduct an international seminar on Education 6.0, connecting all latest advancements in teacher education as well as research field. And this is a continuation of that international seminar. And fortunately enough, we could be able to identify such a topic, AI-assisted research. And it is highly necessary to have technical as well as technological development in the field of higher education. And Vikasip Bharat is a major vision of our country and a campaign of our government of India to make the country a developed nation by 2047. ITEP is a new model in teacher education proposed by NEP 2020, designed to create a new generation of teachers who can make India a superpower in the 21st century. So it's an insightful exploration into the transformative potential of ITEP. The session on AI-assisted research addresses the needs of the 21st century in transforming learning and research in the field of education, preparing students for digital age, VR, AR, providing immersive learning experiences that make complex concepts more accessible and engaging. AI tools for research assess at various stages of research process like literature review and data analysis, publication of papers, research works to collect and manage, analyze and organize information. So our webinar, I think I expect it will concentrate on these aspects. I am extending my gratitude and wholehearted welcome to Dr. M.S. Geeta, Chairperson of CTEF Kerala chapter, respected
Thank you.
resource person Samir sir, Shri Hariyar, the convener of the seminar, Shri Ajay Kumar, principal of BSITE, Muthukulam, and all delegates participating in the webinar. How these AI tools enhance the learning and research. I am extremely happy to introduce Dr. Samir Babu, from Department of Educational Studies, Jamia, Millia, Islamia, University of Delhi. He has been working in the teacher education field under the University of Kerala, Aligarh Muslim University, Central University of Rajasthan, University of Delhi, teaching and mentoring teacher educators and students for the last 20 years. Presently is working as associate professor at Jamia Millia Islamia at New Delhi. I will have to take long hours to explain his expertise and contributions in the field of research and education. He has published 24 books, participated in more than 35 workshops, attended 20 or more refresher courses, conducted more than 125 invited talks, completed 10 projects with the financial assistance from Government of India, supervised 5 PhD theses. He engaged in himself in a lot of extension activities, seminars, presentations, publications, patents, etc. With all due respect and love, on behalf of BCTE Muthukulam, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Once again, I welcome you all to this webinar. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words of welcome. We are truly honored to have Dr. M.S. Geeta, ma'am, Chairman of CTEF Kerala, with us today, and I am inviting ma'am to officially inaugurate the webinar.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, all of you. Most respected resource person of the day, Dr. Samir Babu, the management and the chairman of the college, Dr. A. Sudharma, the general convener of the program, and the principal of the college, Dr. Rama Devi, all the other organizers of this program, dear colleagues, dear delegates, and my beloved students. It is with great pleasure I am going to speak a few words related to the theme of the conference, AI-assisted research, smarter, faster, and accurate. Let me begin my speech by sincerely congratulating the college authorities, especially Dr. Rama Devi and Dr. Sudharma and the other management trustees for your consistent efforts in organizing a variety of academic programs frequently in this college. Each event conducted in the college reflects the institution's commitment to excellence and the efforts they are taking for the holistic development of the students. By creating such platforms for dialogue, the college continues to develop questioning minds and a love for learning among the students. I wholeheartedly appreciate the management and faculty, and I take this opportunity to thank the other organizers for inviting CTEF Kerala also to collaborate in this program. Such collaborations always strengthen our collective efforts in advancing quality education. Dr. Ramadevi has elaborated the significance of the concept Vikasit Bharat and the program initiated by India National. And so I am not taking too much time to extend its significance, the significance of Vikasit Bharat. When I look into the theme of the resource class, that is AI assisted research, smarter, faster, and accurate. I remember the age-old days where I was a PhD scholar in Kerala University. It was a long and tiring process to get into a PhD work and making a PhD thesis during that time. And we had to spend hours in libraries flipping through the pages of many related books and journals to collect information. We were taking notes by hand, cross-checking the references, and sometimes spending months to collect data. Review of related literature and note-taking, bibliography, and data analysis were all done by manual calculation without using SPSS and other modern techniques. We also depended on handwritten notes, index cards, and long discussions to reach a conclusion. And it often took months or even years to complete a single study. Accuracy depended largely on human effort, and every conclusion was the result of human perseverance then. But today, the picture has been completely changed. With artificial intelligence, research has become smarter, faster, and more accurate. AI tools can scan thousands of research papers within minutes, summarize key ideas, and even identify patterns that human eyes may miss. Data analysis that once took days can now be done in minutes using AI-based software. And researchers can use AI to predict outcomes, then generate insights, and even check for errors or plagiarism, uh, thus improving the quality and reliability of the material we are producing. And can you imagine writing a full research paper or notes on something without Google, without digital databases, or without AI tools now? No, you cannot, or we cannot. AI has become a true research partner now. We can save time and also increase the precision of the data. But remember one thing, AI always makes research easier. We can agree. But to question, to interpret, or to create meaning, the human mind still remains at the center. AI assists us, we agree. But it is the researcher's wisdom that guides the discovery. And also AI helps us think faster, but it cannot think for us. The real creativity still comes from the human researcher. AI support us, but it doesn't replace our ideas, human ideas. It cannot replace the human mind. AI is not only a tool, but we are the thinkers, and we are the dreamers, and we are the innovators. So we can say that the best research happens when human intelligence and artificial intelligence work hand in hand. So as the researchers of tomorrow, you should use AI tools genuinely, wisely, not as a replacement, but as a powerful companion. That is to make your researchers smarter, faster, and more accurate. Okay. And I am not prolonging my inaugural speech. I think Dr. Samir Babu would tell us about AI as the technology and also the partnership between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. With these words, I am delighted to inaugurate this online webinar on AI-assisted research, smarter, faster, and accurate. And on behalf of CTEF Kerala, since I am an office bearer of CTEF Kerala, I thank Dr. Samir Babu and all other organizers, the general convener, the manager, and the chairman for this seminar, and I especially Dr. Samir Babu for agreeing this talk, even in the midst of duties at the Department of Education, Jamia, Millia, Islamia University, Delhi, New Delhi. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, to give us a brief outline of today's national webinar and its objectives, I warmly invite Mr. Srihari R., Assistant Professor and Convener of this event from Buddha College of Teacher Education, Muthukulam, to present the webinar overview. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, distinguished research person for the day, Dr. Samir Babu, sir, Honorable Principal, Dr. K. Ramadevi, teacher, CTF chairperson, Dr. M.S. Geeta, madam, and all the assembled distinguished research scholars and faculties from across the universities in India. Today, I would like to give a brief overview about the webinar that we are about to host here at Buddha College of Teacher Education in collaboration with Council for Teacher Education Foundation, Kerala. And as we all know, AI, artificial intelligence, has transformed the entire life scenario of modern age. Being from teacher educators background, we all know that we conventionally employ traditional transactional strategies to teach our future budding teachers. So we still insist on conventional teaching strategies and conventional teaching aids to our B.Ed as well as DLED students. Similarly, in other disciplines also, we do find it extremely difficult to cope up with the advancements in latest technology that has crept in as an advent of artificial intelligence. But actually, artificial intelligence is a weapon that actually can be made use of to better our research skills, and it can actually reduce the burden of our workload. But if we are not able to make use of artificial intelligence as a tool to improve our efficiency, it simply means that we are not in a position to accept and accommodate the impact of AI in our daily life, which means that we are not in a position to update with the changing trends in artificial intelligence and related technology. So when it comes to research and artificial intelligence, AI has the potential to radically transform the research life cycle from literature review to data analysis and even research administration. And there are also specific AI tools that facilitate speed up the research process. In that aspect, today's webinar, I really wish that can really put in an insight for the budding research scholars as well as the educationalists to make use of and to empower and to explore new horizons in the field of artificial intelligence in research education. Thank you. Thank you so much. We really believe that this webinar will be fruitful to all the participants out there. Thank you so much.
Now it's time to meet the guiding light of today's session. We are privileged to have with us Dr. Samir Babu M., Associate Professor in Educational Administration, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Sir has made remarkable contributions in the field of educational research and administration, and today he will help us understand how AI can make research smarter, faster, and more accurate. With immense pleasure, I welcome you, sir, to this webinar. The virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you so much for introducing me. Dear Principal of the college, Professor Dr. Sudharma, Professor M.S. Geeta, ma'am. I thank all of you to give me this opportunity to interact with you all. Let me present my screen and discuss. Yeah, as Dr. Jama Devi, ma'am, initially discussed with me, as the students are leading towards the project in their B.Ed program, and also they have emerged So we need to discuss that in a specific dimension. Along with, we have to mention AI. So the concern for today is research, academic writing, and how what are the AI tools available for different stages of research. As online initiative like webinar, I may not be able to discuss, or hands-on experience provision for hands-on experience may not be that way up to the level, but definitely, as a researcher, this will be helpful for you too, because I have just mentioned various stages, what kind of, or various areas, what kind of research tools with AI we can use it. I thank Buddha College of Teacher Education and the CTEF of Kerala chapter for giving me this opportunity once again. Let us come to the research component. So we know that research is all about productivity. It is all about understanding a social concern. And of course, through research, academicians, those who are in academics, they are getting popularity. These are the three concerns I have mentioned, because everything what we have today, we are sitting in front of something, we are talking about AI. So these are all, we are sitting in a platform, Google Meet, we are using some devices. We have, when you look into your rooms, wherever you are sitting, all the corners of your rooms, you can find out one or the other device. Everything is out of a research, actually. Those who have done research formally, sometimes is all of a sudden they got some very specific concerns, they come up with something as a product or a service. Many services, many products we talk about, everything is all through a rigorous research process. Research, generally people works for enhancing some theory, sometimes it is adding to the knowledge, sometimes it will be designing a product or service that will be helping humanity to some extent. For similarly, as Dr. Ramadevi has mentioned rightly, we are moving towards Viksit Bharat 2047. So India, through its National Education Policy 2020, has rightly pointed out the significance of research and development. Research and development, of course, this is the only way through which we can succeed, or we can attain any progress in a social order, in a society. So human development is solely depend upon research and development. So in that perspective, when we come to the significance of research, so how do generally we do a research? What is the way of research? What are the different concerns that we have to look into when we talk about a research? Of course, as Dr. M.S. Geeta has mentioned rightly, earlier it was very difficult to find out a research problem and to match it with whatever is available, because we have to look into libraries, and we have to go to libraries again, whether the library has a subscription of all the print journals or not. So in India, being an Indian, sitting in an Indian classroom or Indian library, it was very difficult to catch up the advancement in the research, because we know that it's a reality that most of the research is happening in developed nations, like some of the nations of US, America, some of the nations of Europe, some leading countries of Africa, some of the Asian countries as well, Singapore, Malaysia, some of the Middle East countries. They're all doing lot in towards the research with huge funding in the area. Australia is was not a different one. They are not a node. They are also contributing towards the research. So considering all these, taking all these into consideration, how do we go for that and get a research data was a serious concern. Now everything is in your fingertip. We can find out, even though you don't have access or you have access, doesn't matter, but you will get the information about what has already carried out in the area. It's very easy to get it. Again, I am coming to another viewpoint of most of the previous researchers, the senior researchers that we have, professors, or the professors those who have retired, such kind of some people at least, they always blame something. Oh, everything is very easy these days. You can just go to the websites and get the data. Why? What is actually in research? That is actually one way. It is okay. It is easiness. Research process. There is no need of hardship in research. Actually, research should be easy. That is actually positive towards a researcher. So I have done a lot of data collection. I was roaming here and there. I was sitting in many libraries, and that much hardship I suffered. I had to face such kind of challenges while compiling and what we call it as while designing my study and winding up my research for PhD. So that much is not you are doing. That is actually, we can say that it was a laborious task earlier. Now it is easy. Actually, easiness is a part of research, and it will actually generate more ideas to the researcher. But again, when you use these kind of tools in through AI, artificial intelligence based, we should be very cautious about the ethical aspects of the concern. Nowadays, what students are doing, recently I was organizing a program along with some of my colleagues from Jamia Millia Islamia, and also some other universities in India, as well as what we call it the University of Free State, South Africa. It was in a college of Malappuram. But when I come across some of the papers presented by people, the concern, the idea I got it as this, they are considering it is as a very common exercise, day-to-day exercise. Research is taken as a day-to-day exercise. It is very silly. They are taking it as a very simple, silly, and they are not bothered about the consequences of making the scene that much flexible, what we told, that much simple and less, what we call it as less serious. Why? Because people, they are least bothered about reading the materials or considering more materials as references and writing something based on that. Instead, what they are doing is they are just simply giving a prompt in any generative platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Copilot, and just getting the data done for them. That is actually not at all the suggested ways of research through AI. You can use the platforms for getting a framework, use the platform for generating the what we call it as the framework for your research. Other than that, writing everything with the help of AI is not the AI based research. It is not the way that we have to read. For reading, you can do it. For taking notes, it can be recommended. And again, you have to ensure that these are authentic. The platform that you are using is authentic. It is not giving you false information. These are all good. Such way, if you can confirm it, then it's okay. Otherwise, it is not okay to generate. So what I was planning to tell you, my concern was the students presented papers were without any study. They presented the analysis, result, discussion, recommendation. Like an authentic professional researcher, they started giving all the study summary as a PPT. When I look into the PPT, I just commonly comment that these are all made through AI, generative AI platform like Gemini, Perplexity, or Chat GPT. Mostly, they mentioned that it was Chat GPT only they have used. And also the free version of some of the tools, they have some limitations of not looking into the exact information. Like ChatGPT, for example, if you use ChatGPT, sometimes most of the references are fake or just generated references. Such information you cannot find anywhere from the authentic resources. This is a problem. Without a study, without a design and method, how can you conduct a study? It is not possible. So all the methodology, when we look into, never ever go for this kind of generating the thing. Research has a structure that you have to identify. But you can design, you can select your problem and ask some of the platform, what is the polished version of this? Can I get more such kind of studies similar to this kind? Then you can study, you can look into the problem, and then can you revise and polish your problem accordingly. This is the way. Instead of all doing all these creative exercises, what people do, what students do, directly asking, I need a PPT for presenting a topic, AI in research. Then AI started giving you generative AI or ChatGPT, Gemini kind of platforms. They started giving you the complete PPT and resource for PPT. This will never give you any information, and also your professional strength will be deteriorating day by day. That never ever go for such kind of things. So my concern, so students are not at all aware of what is the research. They don't have a knowledge of what is data collection, why it is required. They have already presented the data, like 80% of people mentioned this and that. Then I started asking, how many sample you have taken? Sir, what is sample? They don't know what is sample, but they have mentioned the result with sample. They have mentioned that percentage, this percentage of people mentioned this opinion, the other group mentioned comprised of this percentage, they mentioned this kind of a opinion, like they have presented, but they don't know about what tool they have used. They don't know about what is sampling, what is the number of sample they have selected, because everything is generated, simply generated from the research, from the platform. This is not the way of doing. Similarly, without proper citation, understanding of what is the way of citing a study or a paper in your research, that is also very significant. Especially these days, if you are a prominent researcher, you can use AI as much as possible for your support. It should not be everything. It should not be a ready-made food for you. It can be a mixer. It can be a mixer, not as such a sampar. You are getting a sampar. You can take the potato, take the onion, take the brinjal, take lady's finger, take the spices, everything you can collect from one or the other kind of resources, and you have to make the sampar, not the AI make you the sampar completely. That is not the way. Get the things done. Cutting of the onion, cutting of the tomato, that you wanted to do, everything will be done by the example I'm just giving you. That is being done by AI. But mixing and making and cooking the sambar, that is your duty. That way we have to approach towards the research. That is the AI. AI is also a blessing for us. But if awareness is less, if we don't have clarity, then definitely it will be a curse, it will be a trouble, it will be very destructive for you. So never ever go to such kind of attitude towards integration of AI in research. Now coming to one by one, as I was told to explain about the research as a whole. When we talk about problem, what is actually problem, how we can come towards a problem. Research problem selection was, as Dr. Geeta has mentioned, it was very difficult for identifying a very genuine innovative problem. Earlier it was the scene. Now identification of a problem and area is not that difficult. You have all the availability to search recent trends in an area. You can search, ask generative platforms or ask the platforms to what are the recent publications carried out in this area. For example, I am working on area policy studies in education, sometimes innovative pedagogy used in educational field of education or teaching learning. So, and also my concern is something about what we call it as technology integration. So in the technology integration, what are the recently published studies by Q1 journals of uh, published in Scopus, or A plus category of journals published in ABDC group of journals, ABDC platforms? Otherwise I can go for Web of Science is a platform. In Web of Science, how many papers have been published recently in the area that I would like to mention? Now I need technology integration or I need blended learning. I'm talking about the experimentation with flipped in the classroom, secondary schools. So I can ask this into various AI platforms. I will get all the information about how it is, how the flipped classroom is experimented in various countries, and it is published in various research journals. I get all information. Now I can read, Where should I get the original source of the, whether it is open access, can I get access to that specific document? If no access is given, how can I approach to that, from where I will get, whether it will be available in my library, can I request my librarian to get that specific article, can I go to some other nearby university to get the articles or read the article at least, can I write to the author, can I get the email id of the, these are all the provisions of getting the articles. After reading a number of articles, you will get the clarity. Okay, these have been identified, these have been experimented, this is experimented in various other nations, not in India. I'm getting some conclusions out of my reading of 50, 60 articles on this area. For example, I have given you flipped learning experimentation in school education studies across the globe. These are my concern. While reading 60, 70 articles, I got some conclusion. Flipped learning is experimented in classrooms. In science education, it is experimented. In India, it is experimented. Troubles of or learning of some certain concerns in chemistry, nobody has studied. So why don't I go for that specific area? If it is my concern, suppose it is not my concern, I am from other background, so can I go for integration of economic subjects in that, in a social science subject area? So if it is not available, can I go to that? What kind of designs they have used, which designs are least used, can I go for a new design? These are the concern, these are the curiosity elements, sparks of thoughts coming to your mind for having a new problem. Now you designed a problem, so I'm trying to write my problem like integration of flip based pedagogy into economics classrooms of classrooms at higher secondary level or secondary level. I got a clarity, this is my concern. So some of the ideas regarding the methodology, like which kind of design I will take, what is my method, everything I will get a clarity. I'll just design. Now my concern is that I am focusing on this area only. Now problem is almost got it, I got a problem. So how we arrived at a problem, that is a concern now. One is my interest. I was talking about technology integration is my interest. So as a student, you should have a list of interest, of course, one or two, maybe a bunch of a group of research areas, like 5 or 6 maximum. So out of that, I have read some papers, and finally I have come up with flipping is my area. I design, this is my area. Now I, by reading, I just come up to a, what we call it as a topic of my interest, flipping integration in economics at secondary school level. This is my concern. Now I'm developing my reading my idea, developing my ideas through reading and reviewing. The process is reviewing. For review also, we have lots of sources these days, AI integrated sources, a lot we will get through any AI platform. If you add, you will get information about the reading material. How generally we do a review? Review is doing is, now some people talk about how many reviews required. It's a rubbish, it's a foolish question. No, never ask that what is the number of reviews I have to add in my study. It is not the number of reviews that you have to look into. You have to look into, from a specific period of time, how many studies have been carried out. Everything you have to take. Not about I have added 30 studies. It is not the way of writing the review. Now it is very clear. Some of the platforms, some of the journal indexing platforms like Scopus, Web of Science, ABDC, PubMed, IEEE, they have some specific, and some of the areas like Google Scholar, we are getting information about the review. Now you are taking 2020 onwards, 2020 onwards till 2025, all the studies you will be getting. So see that how many studies you are getting, maybe 60, 70, because you need economics, you need secondary school, you need flipping. These are the key common, what we call it as keywords that you are going to search. The concern is economics, teaching of economics a concern, flipped learning as a design is a concern, experimental study is another concern, and secondary school level is another concern. These are the four concerns that, or variables or keywords that you are going to review or going to search for the review. So so you will not get much information because there will be less studies in this area. So you'll be getting, of course you will be getting 50-60 studies. So this you can use for the review. Various platform, if you have availability of various platforms, you can use all the available platforms considering the nature of your duration of your research. For a PhD, Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholar, everything you can take. And then finally, you can search for duplication and remove the duplicated studies, and accordingly, you will get final number of studies. If it is a B.Ed or M.Ed dissertation, B.Ed project or M.Ed dissertation, no need of going all the available databases. Go for at least one or two. Scopus, it's okay. Scopus is very clear. If it is you are getting Google Scholar, it's okay. No Scopus entry, no Scopus access. You have your institution doesn't have a Scopus. Go for Google Scholar, search the studies accordingly. Now again, once you get all the reviews, you are reading and summarizing the review. Size space is an area. There are many AI tools available for summarizing the studies. So you'll get even normal tools are also able to summarize the study. These are all I will explain. I will give you some list of the tools that will help you for various levels. Once you are getting a review, once you analyze the review, you will get what is my concern. How can I go ahead? Because I am talking about flipping, I am talking about design is experimental, I am talking about secondary schools, again I am talking about economics. These are my concern. With this, I have read many studies. Now I got many new information. So what definitely we do, we will polish our problem. We will get a polished or revised research problem. This is the third stage. Once your review is complete. So in a study, if I mention, I find review is the most significant concern to guide your research. Review is a guide actually for you. As a researcher, it is a guide. It is a direction of your research will be given by the review of related studies. So now through the review, you have polished your research problem. Now, once your research problem is very clear, now you have to write what is the need and significance of studying this specific area. Why I go for this specific study. I have to substantiate. I have to write in a few pages, maybe 2-3 pages, I have to write in the light of previous studies I referred to. I reviewed many studies. In the light of the studies, I have to write the need and significance of my study. Why? What is my concern? Why I study? So that I have to highlight with my logic and also with the help of previous studies I have reviewed for this this specific problem. Now, after the need and significance, I have to go for statement of the problem. What I am going to do. Need and significance is actually why of my study. Why? It is why of my study. Why? Actually, research is all about what. What is your research? Why you are conducting a research? How you are going to conduct the research? What you got it. These are the 4 things in research. Why you are conducting. Now we are talking about why. Need and significance is why of research. Statement of the problem, what you are going to do, what objectives, hypothesis, what you are going to do with the specific title. These 3 are what of your research. Why we have discussed need and significance through the review. Statement of the problem, what I am going to do. In a paragraph, in detail, you are writing what you are going to do as a part of the specific research, not simply giving the title. Simply giving the title is not a statement of the problem. It is simply the title of your study. But we need to give in research the statement of the problem. When a common man, when a layman comes and read your research, they will get an idea about what you are going to do as a part of your specific study, because nobody looks into the title of your study. Some people have a mentality that they will polish the title like a very fancy and attractive title. Doesn't matter the statement of the problem. If you are writing specifically, then only people get an idea of what you are going to do. Again comes to the after the statement of the problem, in the what of research we also have to highlight the objectives and hypothesis. Objectives are actually, these are very specifically using action where we are going to do what you are going to do as a part of the research, to assess or to study the academic performance of students in economics, to design and validate tool for understanding the extent of use of flipped learning in the classroom. Flipped learning adaptability of flipped, to study the adaptability of teachers for implementing flipped learning, to develop and validate a learning package using flipped learning approach, to compare the effect or to study the effectiveness of flipped learning based package.
Hello,
Yes, yes.
hello, Dr. Samir.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you moving your slides?
No, no, ma'am, no, not it.
Not. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Next, yes, yes.
I think you are moving your slides, but it is not visible for
No,
us.
no, 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 no. After the
Okay.
hypothesis, okay. So this is the concern about objectives. Okay. So once objectives is clearly based on the order of your study, you have to clearly mention the objectives. And similarly, we have hypothesis. Hypothesis actually we talks about what is hypothesis actually? These are tentative generalizations, studied guess about your research. Generally, we write hypothesis in a either in a directional or non-directional way. Directional or non-directional hypotheses are to be developed because these are the guiding light to you. Based on the previous studies, only you are writing hypothesis. Some people write null hypothesis as hypothesis. Actually, null hypotheses are not hypotheses. These are by name, these are hypotheses, but these are the tools or devices to test the hypothesis. Null hypotheses are devices to test the hypothesis. Hypothesis should be either directional or non-directional, should not be a negation, should not be a null hypothesis. So because once you don't have a hypothesis, you cannot substantiate that you need to conduct a research. I assume that there is no significant difference between boys and girls. Then I can ask you why you are conducting a research then. If you don't know, you are assuming that there is no difference between boys and girls in their specific area in their academic performance, then why you are taking this sex category as a variable? There is no point in that. Such kind of things we have to take care of. Okay, so objectives, hypothesis. Now comes to the methodology, design of your study, what you are going to do in research. In every stage, what kind of tools we can use, I will list out and I will tell you. In methodology, the major concern is method. Method actually never ever go to a previous study what method they have used. Better you just take the variables of your study, consider the sample that you are going to take for your study, the tools and techniques that you will have or you are going to use it in your study. Now decide which method will be appropriate for me. Identify the methods that is suitable for you. So you have to study that. Some methods need some specific requirements. If you are going to a survey, you are to going for a survey, definitely you need such kind of tools in your study. If you are going to have an experiment, definitely such kind of design you should follow and such kind of objectives you should have. If you are going for a grounded theory, you should have these and these tools required. So what are my tools, what is my sample, what are the objectives I have? These are all the deciding factors behind the selection of your method. Now, when you come to the sample, again, once method is very clear, I have to find out, I have to limit what is my population. What is my population? What is actually population? Population is the totality of what group you are going to study on, what you have to what you are going to conduct a study about. It's all about the group that is a specific concern for you. If it is about documents, which area of documents you are going to talk about. For example, if you're talking about aesthetic analysis of selected books of selected plays of Shakespeare, William Shakespeare in an English. So you're going to have a what we call it as a kind of content analysis. But as a master student of English language and literature, you may not be able to read and analyze the entire volumes, entire works of William Shakespeare. So what you can do is, as among the available plays, available texts of Shakespeare, you are delimiting the some of the books, some of the works of William Shakespeare. This is actually the concern we talk about. The totality is the all the works authored by William Shakespeare. Now comes to the delimitation. For the convenience of conducting your study, you are putting some measures or conditions that we call it as delimitations of the study. One is totality, that is population. The other is delimitation. For materializing, for implementing the study properly, considering the limitations of your study as a researcher, you are making or designing or putting forward some of the conditions. These are known as delimitations of your study. Now, after the delimitation, the sampling frame is very clear. What is my sample? What is my sample? Whether it is students, whether it is a few documents, teachers, whatever it is, you have to take it specifically using appropriate techniques of sampling. Techniques of sampling, there are two families of sampling. He talks about probability or random, non-probability or non-random. So in that, again, we have lots of sampling techniques that also we have to specifically follow. Simple random sampling, stratified random sampling, cluster sampling, we have multi-stage cluster sampling, proportionate sampling, systematic sampling. These are all the samplings in random or probability. Non-random category, we have convenience sampling, purposive sampling, judgmental sampling, snowball sampling, quota sampling. These are all the non-probability or non-random sampling. Whatever the possibility to draw sample, you can go for that. Never ever go for something based on previous studies. What is your study? What is the population? What is your design? Accordingly, you select the appropriate sample. Now, again, tools of research. Tools of research, AI tools are very helpful for designing the tools these days. Because whatever we are thinking, it is not easy to think all the dimensions of a concern. For example, you're talking about a specific concern. For example, I can tell you leadership intelligence. So if I talk about leadership intelligence or leadership styles, I have to read all the content. I have to take all the reviews available in the area leadership. Now I am writing the major dimensions or theories regarding the leadership. From every dimension, which theory is more or the most appropriate for my study, I am just taking that specific answer. Now, based on that theory, whether it is transformational leadership, transactional leadership, which XY theory, which theory I am taking. So finally, I decide which one is a concern when I talk about leadership style or leadership intelligence. Then I started writing the tool specifically. If it is a what we call test scale, whether it is a situational test, whether it is a semantic differential scale, a questionnaire, schedule, whatever it is, I would like to design it according to my requirements. Now here, AI tools will help you with more ideas while you are designing questions. Definitely we have to use such kind of, even when you go for a normal very popular tools like Gemini, Perplexity and ChatGPT, they will give you very good statements regarding a variable that can be used, and later you can polish it and you can change it to paraphrase it and change into the common language what we use generally. That is one of the ways we can use. Again, after tools, now we have to go for data collection. These we are talking about, this slide is all about how of your study, what you are going to study. We have mentioned why you have you are going to conduct a study also, we have mentioned. Now this is about how of research, how of your specific research. So data, once you have tools is ready and samples are designed and delimited and clearly mentioned and marked, now you can go for a data collection with the proper permission letters. You can go for data collection. In the age of AI, people go for dummy data as well. Not at all good. Generated data. Never ever go for such kind of things. Go for exact collection of the data with your specific tool and collect the data. Never ever give the study and get the things done by AI tools. Never ever go for that. These are all totally unethical and not at all professional way of approaching the things. There is no shortcut in research, but there are shortcuts. They will help you as a support or tips through AI. Never ever go for as such collecting the data or getting the scores done from AI. If you give AI, will give you all the materials, all the things, all the sheets even, but that is not ethical. Even whatever you are doing is waste of time if you are going for such kind of collection. Because whenever submitting the data to any journal, they will ask you whether it is okay or not, whether they will ask you for data. Sometimes when data is submitted, they will check for its authenticity, because there are many software available to check the authenticity of the data. Once I got an experience, I, because generally we depend the research scholars, we give all the directions, we give all the freedom for the researchers, maximum conditions I apply. You have to go this, you have to go for the give me a clear picture, give me photos when you reach the school, uh, give me the number of students you have collect the data today, what is the way of data collection, when you are free. I'm just giving all the freedom, but in between all the checks and balance, in order to ensure, I just ask the photos and data, everything, because then only we can ensure. Even with all these things, some of my students, once I know, they were doing their MD from other university, they have collected data. I blindly depended, okay, because all the instruction I've given, they have given, submitted the data finally, but it was a copy pasted data. Some data they have copied from the earlier page and then they pasted it. The person has pasted it at the end. We were not having a knowledge of about it, but I have submitted later. The thesis is done perfectly. It was one of the best presentation. Everything was done, and she got the person got the degree as well. But when I went for publication, both of us sit and made all the corrections, all the citations through APA we have made, submitted the paper for a journal. After submitting the journal, generally the journal looks into whether it is okay or not. But sometimes some of the journals, they will demand, they will ask for the data in Excel sheet. They need the raw data to check whether we are genuine or not. I was very happy while they asked for the data, submitted the data, but later I got a reply that it is not a genuine data. So then I also checked what is there. Then I could also find that it is because the students sometimes do anything. So we have to be very particular about it. So my concern to all the students, never ever go for these kind of things, because it is professionally not at all good for us. We when we are doing all these kind of evil practices, definitely nothing you are going to gain out of your professional life. Never ever go for falsification or data, what we call it as the data fabrication. Fabrication and falsification are we consider as these are the cardinal sins in these are the cardinal sins: plagiarism, falsification, fabrication. These are the cardinal sins in academic research. So data collection is clear, then we can go for data management. Data management includes data screening, removing the outliers, finishing the data, whether all the data is okay or not, finalizing which data I can take and which data I cannot take. So this way we are, these are all the part of how of research, how you are going to conduct your research. Now next is, what is the end? How do I present my research? This is all about reporting. Now the data is collected. Now I am ready for reporting it. Reporting consists of analysis of data analysis with proper. Now lots of software available. As Dr. Geeta has mentioned rightly earlier, it was simply the manual analysis we were doing. When I was doing MEd, that time also SPSS was available, but we were not having access. I was also doing all the data collected, tally marks done, the frequency distribution developed, and we went for mean, median, standard deviation. Everything we have done manually. Then we had to go t-test, we had to go the reliability analysis, all things, regression, equation of regression, everything I had to do manually when I was doing my MEd. So my concern is that when you have all the tools available, there is no harm in using any tool. It is okay, but genuine data is to be used. Reasoning should be, statistical reasoning is a matter. Some people, they may not have the statistical reasoning. When you don't know which statistical calculation I can use for this specific objective, then never ever go for any analysis. Any analysis, if you claim for an analysis, if you click on button of analyze, you will get a data analysis done. But sometimes it will be meaningless if your statistical reasoning is incorrect. So go for a proper analysis. Then definitely once you data is analyzed, you will get a result and you have to interpret the result. Data analysis and result will be interpreted accordingly as per the guidelines of standard writing manual for education, psychology, social work, and all. We use American Psychological Association 7th edition. This is the manual generally we use. Some of the departments and centers, they use Chicago manual, sometimes Harvard manual. Languages, they go for Modern Language Association MLA manual. So our concern is APA. We have to write as per the outline of a table should be according to APA. Title of the table should be according to APA. These days tools will give you how to structure its APA. What is the structure of APA tool? Give a table and they will give you, okay, this is the structure, convert into APA table. Easily you can use it. For this you can use it. When I was doing my PhD, I had to make all the tables manually. Now I don't have to make give the data, the table will be generated according to APA. Even in SPSS kind of analysis platform, you go for Jamia, we will get the tables exactly according to the style, according to APA style you will get. In Jamia with references we are getting. What references you have to add as per it. Everything you will get it. In APA you are getting. So it is very easy these days. But only thing is that you have to use the appropriate thing. Discussion, I mean, based on the available studies, you have to discuss the already available result of your study. You got a result. What is the result of previous study? Whether it is incongruence with your study, whether it is opposing to the result of your study, for or against of your study, that you have to discuss specifically in the light of all the available studies. That is actually discussion. Everywhere you should write the study, author, second name of the author, and year in bracket to substantiate your result. That is what we call it as discussion. Then you are writing implications of your study in the context of your study. Sitting into the or looking into the context of your study, you can write the implications. It should not be like very hi-fi, like some people write there is an urgent need of revision of curriculum. It is not your concern. If you are talking about flipped learning and its experimentation in economics classroom, you should not mention anything about revision of curriculum. It is not your duty. Have you done any studies on curriculum? No. Have you analyzed the curriculum? No. Then how can you mention that curriculum should be revised? Never ever go for a general kind of implications, or above over and above the context of your study. Never go to such kind of implication, such kind of writings, and without a specific research base, you cannot give such kind of implication. To what extent you can implement this strategy, that is your implication. What is the implications while implementing these kind of research, such kind of things you can give. Suggestion for further research: you have carried out a study. Now what are the possibilities with this area? What are the new research idea you got in mind? Unfortunately, you were not able to conduct all the segment of the research. That is actually suggestion for further research. Some people mention that I have conducted among secondary schools, so you can use it in higher secondary, you can go for a college. This is actually no need of this kind of suggestion. Suggestion should be very clear, creative, and progressive suggestions. Now I have conducted a study in the among teachers. You can conduct it with other professionals. These are not suggestions actually. Now I have taken the experimental mode of flipping and I have used this design. You can, it can be experimented using some other, because then only some more inclinations you can identify when it is a blended learning and flipping. So we can compare, then we will get more clarity whether the blended learning is in I mean higher position in terms of the outcome attainment or the flipping. Such kind of studies we can suggest. I have just used the scale for assessing. Along with, you can also use a situational questions so that they will be more into the context of the flipped learning and you will be getting more ideas about it. Such kind of suggestions can be given as suggestion for further research. And finally, references or bibliography. Whatever is the context for you, whatever the demand from your department or college or university, you can write the references. So these are all about the reporting side of the study. Now, once you go through, this is the link I'll share with you. Once you go to this, will tell you, this will help you to see how do we design a study, what are the parameters of a good study when you go for a publications. These are I just mentioned. These are all some of the databases from where we will get the idea, we will get the studies. You can go to the Scopus, you can go to Web of Science, ABDC, PubMed, IEEE. These are all the areas through which we can study. This I have just mentioned the citation manual. So I told you APA is the citation manual. So when you go to the any of the APA, these are also Harvard, everything I've mentioned. In education, APA is one of the best. Generally, we use as per the requirements you can use. So if I go to the study, I can get an information about how APA is used, the basic idea I will get. Just for the, so the PPT will be shared, so you can also look into that. So basically, how do we write an APA based paper? It mentions here there are hundreds of things available. So how we write a narrative citation, how will you go for a parenthetical citation, if it is direct quotation, if it is direct quotation, the way of writing, some examples, with examples it is mentioned. Okay, you will get an information accordingly. Now again, let me come to the PowerPoint. So these are all the basics that we have to identify when you start with your study. So when you are in research, The first condition is understanding the citation manual. Initially, you are just looking into what are the basis of a research, steps of a research, what processes you have to do. I have just mentioned all the process of what, why, and how of research, how to report your studies. Now the citation manual. Which manual is for me? In which manual I have to write? What manual mentions actually everything about process of research. How do you write a research report? What is the font suggested? What is the size of your font? How to write your table? What is the size of your figure? Title of table, title of figure, line spacing, margins. Will you start? What is intonation? How do we write your references? It is in hanging indent in APA. Paragraphs, side headings, major headings, font size, everything. Again comes to the citation. Citation means inside we have to write in-text citation. How to write it, narrative citation, how to write it, parenthetical citation, how do we write it. Everything is mentioned in a manual. This is the base of your research. Some people talks about you go and write your dissertation, go and prepare your abstract. We have to begin with manual, then only people will get a research idea. Most of the Indian research institutions, I'm not generalizing, have very good institutions. They are very particular about the manual. Tata Institute of Social Sciences, many of the departments of various good universities. My university is also one of the best universities. We are also very strictly follow the manual. Most of the departments, IITs, IIMs, no way you can write anything in IIT or an IIM without proper citation. The first learning is citation, manual of citation, the available things of manual of citation. Otherwise, never ever enter into the research. This is the base, and first and foremost we have to learn. Then only come. Then after this only you just come for selection of your topic, reading of the articles. This is actually the way out. Now comes to the, I'm just mentioning different stages of research, what kind of tools you can use it. You will be knowing hundreds of tools. I've just taken from a study and copy pasted some of the things. So but I will tell you many of the things. I have a research rabbit, I have already experimented with. It's very good. While you identify a research problem, you can get it. ChatGPT, generally we go for ChatGPT, but if it is free versions, generally may not be getting all the concerns of yours. When you're developing and identifying a problem, ChatGPT is a good source, no doubt. Research Rabbit is one of the best, we can say, one of the best sites or best tools that we can go for identifying your research problem. Fellow, how many of you have tried is multilingual academic research engine for topic discovery? We can use Philo as well. Philo I have not experimented with, but Research Rabbit I have just seen. It is also a good platform. You can use it to identify the research area. Now, next is for systematic review or review. Review, I told you, review is the best part. In consensus is one of the thing. I can tell you it's a good platform. How many of you have used the Rayan? Rayan is very good. Other than this, I am telling about. Rayan is very good. Systematic review. Elicit is also okay. Litmaps is also okay. Site is us. Connected papers is another good. Connected papers, Rayan. Other than all these 4, 5, you can use connected paper and Rayan as well for getting more, extracting more reviews. And also, I just mentioned directly visit these platforms like Scopus. They are indexing very good journals. They have 4-layer indexing of the journals, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. You must be knowing that. Along with, we have books, conference proceedings, and records of reports in Scopus. Similarly, in Web of Science, you have. Similarly, we have the IEEE, PubMed, or ABDC journal category listing. So that are all you can look into, you can use for review. These are some of the platforms that will help you to do it. Some of the free versions may not be good for you. So in the institutions or as a team, you can go for purchasing some of the tool. That is there is no harm in that. It will definitely help you. So go for such kind of, I mention again, connected papers and rayon you can go. Identifying tools, connected papers will give you, I have just mentioned it. Meta also give you some of the tools, identification of them. Dimensions AI, I've used connected papers only for this purpose. You can also try dimensions.ai for identifying research tools. Data analysis, there are plugins of IBM SPSS. Even Excel, the general Excel is also these days doing wonderful job. ChatGPT is also considered as a very good tool, but paid version you have to go for better results of ChatGPT. ChatGPT paid version, definitely you can go for a proper data analysis. It is considered as one of the best IBM. These are the plugins I just mentioned. Or in data mining, we can use for data analysis purposes. These days, all the analysis tools have been improvised. SPSS, Jamov is very good, and Jamov is also improvised after few additions in it. Citations, corrections we have. Citations is all the time. When I was a scholar in 8 to 13, I also studied Zotero and Mintile, but it was very difficult for getting more articles. But citation correction these days with Zotero, EndNote, Mentle, Paperpile AI assisted citation manager, we can have very correct citation. No worries about it. Even you have some ideas, even any AI platform will help you. Gemini, Perplexity, Copilot, or simply the Chat GPT you give. These are my data about my author is this one, my editor, the book publication is this, year is this, and I need an index citation for this. Just give it, you will get it. How to write index citation, how to write in APA 7, that you will get it. But these are specifically will help you. If you go with Zotero, EndNote, or Mentle, definitely you can switch from one to the other. What is the need of switching from one to the other? Why there is a need of switching from one to the other? Suppose I have made my paper in APA, but when I approach a journal, I have seen that journal is in Chicago, man. Oh my God, all the 20 papers again I have to rework and change the thing, change the citation. It is very easy with a simple click in Zotero, EndNote, or Mentle. That is the beauty of, or that is the concern of using these kind of platforms for citation. It will help you to correct and also to ensure the perfect citation. DOI you have. What is DOI? You must digital object identifier. Digital object identifier. Every paper these days is given as a D with a DOI. So DOI, cite DOI because if you have a DOI, you have to identify the paper. This will help you. Semantic scholar is also a concern. Changing citation, as I mentioned, Mentle Zotero or EndNote will help you. Rough and write is very good. The initially I was using that, but now I don't have an experience. Recently, what is the development I have not seen? You can just see. Typeset.io. These are all the, you can change the citation from one to the other, getting help from these kind of platform. So identify something and fix for you. What is my comfort? I am using. Some people are very much into Chat GPT, so they are very much into that only. But never ever depend one only. Experiment with button. When I came to Copilot, I've seen that it's okay. Copilot is okay. I've just seen some reviews. Some people mention if you are using it's okay. Perplexity is okay. Gemini is okay, better than Chat GPT if you're just designing. But when we look into the generation of an email, generally we go for letter and emails through this kind of platform because it is okay, because you are just casually writing something. So perfection, it is okay. It will also be learning, because when you generate through a Gemini or Copilot or ChatGPT, I couldn't find much differences when you are generating an email. Most of the language, most of the time, language is same. You must have experienced. But when we go for generating some ideas, when you don't have a resource, there is a difference. ChatGPT is not that much dependable sometimes. Perplexity is more dependable. It's okay. Copilot and Perplexity, these are better with my experience when I go for generating some ideas. Gemini is also okay. So these are all experimentation to be done. Sometimes do with this, sometimes we do that, and compare what will be better for you. Never ever depend always with one. Experiment it with. See for some of the genuine. Go for some reviews. Some people, YouTubers, in Insta, FB, they have given you some reviews of one or the other tools. Why this is okay, why that is okay. Some free versions of some tools are better than the other. So compare it and select one. Is these are the things that we have to. Again, I repeat, never ever blindly depend anything. Even though you are getting, I told you that Perplexity is okay or SciSpace is okay. So don't go for simply blindly looking into that. See the citation, search for whether it is actually there or not, then finalize it's okay. Again, rewrite and make it clearly. Based on the original source only, you write it. Never ever go for simply generating the content. Not at all suggested. Never ever go for your understanding, it's okay. For getting a definition, it's okay. But for writing something, use the genuine platform. Otherwise, you have to write that all these content have been generated. Content, all the content I have given you has been generated through this. Every the credit you have to give to the specific platform. Then it's okay. If you write this display, what we call it as a point or note, then it's okay. Summarizing studies. SciSpace is very good. SciSpace is very good. Scholarly, ChatGPT is also okay for that. But whenever major points are there, when you go for SciSpace, definitely it mentions which area it highlights something, and definitely it will be helpful for you to summarize it. Scholarly, you see, for generating study design, finally, research PAL is there, Elicit is there. So I've just not experimented properly, but study design sometimes because when we are getting some confusions, when you are designing a new study, something special you have taken, but there is a confusion. You have asked for someone, asked for an expert opinion, but many experts have given different opinion. So now you confused. So study design can be generated with. Again, recent books and journals. You have various gray literature. We'll get gray sites we are getting. Dimensions.ai, Philo. They are all giving you the books and journals recently. But authentically, for authentic source referencing, definitely go to the platform like Scopus and Web of Science, and then you will get authentic list of the authentic sources of the journals. Never ever depend all the time for such kind of things, but for more information, definitely it will be helpful. If it is not available or if it is not indexed, then this kind of platforms will definitely help you. So whenever you're writing some of the things I've just mentioned, don't go for a generalization. Don't make many generalization these days. Only thing is that write based on specific references. Don't write in vacuum. Some people have the mentality that vacuum. There is no method available. So my method, I'm suggesting that this flipped based learning will only helpful for. It is helpful. It is the only strategy that help for will be a help for a commerce teacher, economics teacher for teaching the subject. Never ever go for without any specific references. Similarly, don't forget to give the references. Citing Wikipedia is not at all good because this is an editable thing. It is good to get information, but plagiarism, proofreading, everything, because I've taken from this, I've just mentioned. When you are going towards the publication, these are all the requirements I've just mentioned. This is when we were talking about a kind of referencing and manuals. These are all the sites, some of the conference sites. You can see how we can write a conference papers. Never ever go for your own style. Some conferences will have their own style. See, accordingly you write it. These are some of the models I've written, how we write scholarly dissertations. I've just taken from some of the LinkedIn pages how to write a winning introduction section. I will give you this, no worries. This will help you to have. These are all my presentation. These are all about my presentations. I know that we have not experimented with some of the platforms because of the time limit, and also it is not that worth also to present it with. You can experiment with all these platforms. Definitely I will share with you the PPT immediately after this presentation. You will get it from the organizers. Thank you so much, and I am happy to have you or questions or concerns, if any. We have another couple of minutes we have to discuss.
Thank you so much, sir, for that highly informative and enlightening presentation. I'm sure all the participants have gained valuable insights on how AI can transform their research journey. Now we move on to the interactive section. Participants are welcome to post their questions in the chat box or unmute themselves to ask directly. Any questions?
Managing our relations
Thank you, sir. Every successful event is the result of dedication and teamwork. To express the gratitude to all who made this webinar possible, I invite Mr. Srihari, our Assistant Professor and Convener BCTE, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Esteemed research person for the webinar, Dr. Babu sir, Honorable Principal Dr. K. Ramadevi teacher, esteemed CTEF chairperson, Dr. Geeta madam, and all the assembled distinguished guests from across the education sector in India. I would like to take this opportunity to first of all thank Dr. Samir Babu sir, Associate Professor, Department of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia University, for your thought-provoking session on the fundamentals of educational research and how AI tools can be employed to make research interesting and thought-provoking for budding educational professionals. We, on behalf of the Buddha College of Teacher Education and CTEF, we express our heartfelt thanks to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir.
Next, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to CTEF, Council for Teacher Education Foundation, Kerala chapter, for their collaboration, for their cooperation that CTEF has been extending to Buddha College of Teacher Education for the past 1.5 years. Over the last 22 months, we have collaborated with CTEF on one national conference, one international conference, and this webinar was indeed our third collaboration with CTEF. And we take this opportunity to thank the CTEF organizing team, Geeta madam, as well as Nimi Media teacher, and all the committee members behind CTEF who are consistently extending the sincere support and collaboration with Buddha College of Teacher Education. On behalf of the CTEF, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, madam. Next, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our guiding alma mater, Dr. K. Ramadevi teacher and Mr. Ajay Kumar sir, our principals of B.Ed as well as DLA departments, who have been instilling in us sense of support as well as all sorts of institutional level support in organizing such a webinar in a very short span of time. It was indeed a thought-provoking and eye-opening guidance that principals have been instilling in us over the past 3 to 4 years. Thank you so much, Ramadevi ma'am and Mr. Ajay Kumar sir. Next, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our management, Buddha College of Teacher Education Management, for having extended this kind of consistent support and backup over the years, for having made the events possible. Without the credibility support from the management, such institutional support, this kind of webinars and national conferences wouldn't have been possible. So once again, I take this opportunity to thank the Buddha College of Teacher Education Management for having provided us with this wonderful opportunity to organize the educational research colloquiums. Next, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the assembled research persons, research scholars, associate professors, and research guides from across the universities in India. And we really thank you for your heartfelt cooperation that all the assembled guests over here have extended towards us in this national webinar. And finally, but not the least, I thank the entire faculty team as well as the student community of Buddha College of Teacher Education. And I really appreciate the honor that you have expressed in collaborating in learning from such types of educational colloquium. And once again, on behalf of BCT and CTF, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Babu sir for such a thought-provoking session on the building research college in education. So thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the heartfelt words of appreciation. As we come to the close of this enlightening evening, let us carry forward the insights we gained today into our own research and learning. On behalf of Buddha College of Teacher Education, Muthukulam, I thank each and every participant for being with us. Stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, with AI, research truly becomes smarter, faster, and more accurate. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rama Devi. Thank you, Dr. Samir. Thank you for the collaboration.